Hey, Teresa here with Unconventional Mommy Musings, and I'm just so excited because it is October, and where I live, the weather has changed, and not just gradually, but boom, all of a sudden it went from hot summer to very nice, cool fall. And I just love the weather changes. I always look forward to them because I feel like as the weather changes, it's a great opportunity for me to evaluate my own life and make the changes that I need to make. So what's on my mind right now is emergency preparedness. I don't feel like I do very well in this area in my life. If there's an emergency, I don't think I'd be very prepared. And a couple weeks ago, there were some huge thunderstorms in my state, and about 3 hours away from where I am, there was a tornado, and we do not live in a tornado zone. There are like never tornadoes here. Now, no one got seriously injured as far as I read from the news from this tornado. Some homes were destroyed, and that was sad. But you just never know what's going to happen. We do live in a place where potentially a big earthquake could happen. So, but you know, there's always minor emergencies if you lose a job or your water line or gas line or something gets messed up, or life happens. So it helps to have an emergency kit just in case. So that's what I'm working on right now. Specifically, I'm working on my 72-hour food and water. So this is not long term. This is just 3 days of food and water. And so here are my 6 criteria I would like to meet when creating this 72-hour food and water. 1, I would like the food to be as nutritious as possible. And I know this is hard because my second goal is I want the food to be able to be consumed and prepared without water and without heat. The dinners would be better with heat, like they would taste better with heat, but potentially all the things I got could be prepared without heat, and none of them need an extra water. I just thought that having that convenient factor was super important. So it's hard to have nutritious, convenient food. Those two things don't really go together, quite honestly. My third goal was to have it also be affordable, which I've heard that you can't really have affordable things and quality things and convenient things. You have to usually sacrifice one to have the other two. So this is kind of a stretch, and those are only my first 3 goals. My other 3 criteria are is we would like to have it be plant-based. We try to be a plant-based family. We're not 100% like perfect on that. We don't we're not always plant-based, but we try to do our best being plant-based. So I took that into big consideration. I also wanted the food to be stuff my kids would eat. So I do have one picky eater in particular, and I just don't want to have to stress with that during an emergency. That just would not be fun. Nope, not at all. And so I think I covered my criteria. I had 5. There was a 6th one, but I can't remember it right now. So those were the main criteria, and I have on my blog post, I have more details about that. But I had fun trying to figure this out, and I would like to show you what it looks like. All right, so this is my 72-hour food and water. I have more details specifically on my blog, especially when it comes to price and serving sizes. So check those out, but I'll just kind of try to go through this as quickly as I can. So we got some plastic spoons and some bowls. I figured with these meals that's all we would need. We are probably going to have some diaper wipes with the rest of the 72-hour kit. So I don't think we need anything else there. For breakfast, I found these individual sized almond milks, which are really nice. We're going to mainly use these for We've got some granola. It's maple pecan. This is going to last 2 breakfasts. And then we have the cinnamon toasters. And these are special because we never, ever, ever buy cereal, ever. So the reason I bought it was, one, I figured this could be a morale booster for my kids, because we only get cereal during very special occasions. And 2, these cereals actually are fortified with a bunch of vitamins and minerals, which is actually really nice. So, no, they're not very healthy, but I think that will be fine in an emergency setting. Also for breakfast, we've got some freeze-dried bananas and freeze-dried strawberries. So I'm hoping those will kind of last us the 3 days to snack on along with our breakfast here. Now there's only 12 of these almond milks, but I don't think we would need the whole container to douse our granola and our cereal. I think that we could do half of it, or even 3/4 would do the trick. And even if we did 3/4, that should give us enough to do 15 servings. So that is our breakfast for 3 days. For lunch, it was a challenge. I decided that in an emergency situation, it might be best to just focus on high protein snacks for lunch. So we got some roasted and salted peanuts. We've got some sunflower nuts, which are also roasted and salted, and the shells are off. So that's the convenience factor there. We've also got some Sriracha cashews. My kids probably won't eat these. This is more for me and my husband. So we'll focus on those. The kids can focus on these. I also got some wheat thins. This is the only item here on my kit here that will not be shelf stable for 6 months. It's about 5 months. I think that was the 6th item I didn't mention. I couldn't remember what it was. Is that I wanted things that would last at least 6 months. So this one, we're going to be checking this food in 6 months and eating it if there hasn't been an emergency, because some of it's going to go bad. And so I'm going to see if these wheat thins can be stretched out to 6 months or not. We'll have to see. But also for lunches, we've got these freeze-dried peaches and freeze-dried apples. So that is our lunches for 3 days. Now if you notice, there's not any veggies at all in breakfast or lunch. So I do regret not getting some freeze-dried veggies or canned veggies or whatever. I will consider that next time as a higher priority. But let's move on to dinners. Dinners are where I incorporated at least some veggies. So we've got this Progresso soup. Now, I am usually really careful at checking labels, but I've had Progresso soups before that are totally plant-based. And I just was assuming, I guess, that it was plant-based. But, you know, the noodles actually do have egg. But it's not something I'm going to stress over. We're going to use them anyway. But next time I'm going to probably look for a different vegetable soup. But this is where we're incorporating some veggies. So that will be one of our dinners. For another dinner, we've got this butternut squash soup. And this is my one risky item when it comes to things that my kids might not eat. There's a possibility, especially my picky one, might turn her nose to this. But I want to try it anyway. So we're going to do that for one of our meals. And then I found these flour tortilla taco boats that have a shelf life of 6 months, which is amazing. So we got those. There are 8 in there. We've got some vegetarian refried beans, and we got some corn. So my plan for that dinner is to put those things in the flour tortilla taco boats. And afterward, I thought, oh man, I should have got some salsa. I'm not sure if salsa is shelf stable for 6 months or not. I've never looked into that. I imagine it is, but who knows? Maybe it's not. If I had done salsa, I would have had a lot more taste, plus some more veggies in there. So that's something I will keep in mind. I'm afraid this might be bland. I have never tried these Taco Bell refried beans before, so I don't know how well they're seasoned or not. But we'll try that out in 6 months, or if there's an emergency before then. Alright, so that's our dinners. Now water. This is a lot of water. I don't know, honestly, if we will be able to carry this all or not. I'm going to be doing a test really soon, putting this all in my emergency backpacks. I have backpacks for my kids because I want them to help at least a little bit with carrying this. So I got a smaller sized bottle for my kids to carry. I mean, they're not going to be able to carry all of that. But maybe 1 or 2 bottles. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then I got some normal sized bottles. I'm thinking that we do have a life straw. It's a filtering system straw. I think we're going to have more filtering systems because, I mean, if I'm lucky and I can take my humongous stroller, if an emergency happens and it's not going to be inconvenient to take my stroller, then I could probably take these. I mean, I say that. I don't know what else I need to take. I don't know. If anyone has any experience or expertise in that area, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Well, I've got some dessert here. These are Laura bars. These are completely plant-based, and they've got some really good nutritional qualities to them. I honestly have never tried them before. I've heard really good things about them, but I've never tried them. So we've got apple pie, we've got cashew cookie, and we've got chocolate chip cookie dough. So these were a splurge. These were $1 each. But I am hoping that they are tasty and that they're also a nice nutritional value to our meal here. So that is my food storage here. So that's our 72-hour food storage and water storage for this time around. Now, as for money, the grand total on all of this food and water was $77.14, which comes to roughly $5.14 per person per day. So that's not something I can afford to do every day. I feel like it's a decent number for a 3-day 72-hour kit, but I feel like I could really take that number down somehow if I really explore my options. So I want to know, what do you think? What are your ideal criteria for a 72-hour food and water storage? And whether you've done it before or not, what would be important to you, and what areas do you think you would have to sacrifice? What items would you put as more important than others? And if you've been through an emergency of some sort, please share your story if this has been something you've been able to do or weren't able to do. I think that's something we can all benefit from. I will be posting on my blog. I want to try to analyze the nutritional value of the food I got. I kind of want to dig deeper and do an assessment. I'm interested in nutrition. I'm definitely not a registered dietitian or anything like that. It's just whatever I can find on the internet pretty much. But yeah, look out for that. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and leave some comments. And I'll see you next time.